evening and welcome to ATV. I'm Suad Asfour, your host. My special guest today is Hanna Rustom Archbold. Hanna came to United States in 1982 seeking higher education. She earned her master's degree in computer science at the University of San Francisco. Her priority in life is to build a strong community and help open doors to those who are less fortunate. She loves to volunteer for good, worthy causes. She is the president of LAU, Lebanese American University, in Northern California. And she was vice president for LAA, Lebanese American Society. She is recently has been appointed as the World Lebanese Culture Union chairperson for Social Affairs Committee. Tonight, she is here to talk to us about her job with WLCU at the United Nations and her objectives and dreams in life. Hanna, thank you for coming and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Saad. I really appreciate you hosting me. It's a privilege and an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Hanna, I understand you came to United States in 1982.
That's correct.
And we know that we will talk about your accomplishment in a few minutes, but I'd like to know the reason what made you come to United States in the first place.
Beautiful. I have been a very studious girl, and I had ambitions of achieving higher education. I was on the verge of finishing my BS in computer science at Lebanese American University. It was called Beirut University College then. And before I finished the last semester, the Israel invaded Lebanon and they invaded West Beirut as well. And it was a very dangerous situation. They invaded the area and it was like soldiers everywhere, and they had the massacres for the Palestinian people in Sabra and Jatila. We lost over 3,000 Palestinian children and elderly. The situation in Lebanon was very precarious. They separated the West Beirut from East Beirut, no electricity, no water. So I was stuck for 21 days there without being able to go to the mountains where I am from. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know if I'm going to survive it or not, When I had the chance to leave, I left, and it was on a very dangerous road, but I made it home. When I made it home, my dad told me, we don't know what's going to happen in Lebanon. I suggest, instead of continuing your education here, try to do it outside. My uncle helped me. He applied to so many universities here. When I got acceptance, I came through Syria, and I came to the States to finish a master's degree in computer science. This is when I went to USF, and I studied that major, and really I loved it because at that point, computers was not like a huge topic, or like as much as it is here nowadays, It was still an emerging subject.
Yeah, so basically you saved your life.
I saved my life.
You earned your education, whatever you had, your dreams.
Yes.
You've been working on your accomplishment, and you accomplished so much so far, and I congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
So can you tell us, how did you start? I'm sure when you came in it was a little bit harder. Everybody goes through some hard time.
It's very, very difficult when you come from overseas, from our country, and I'm one of 6 children, and we lived in a very protective environment. So I came to the States, and luckily my uncle was very helpful, and he really paid for my education, for a bigger amount of my education, paid for a place to stay in. But in the beginning, it was very, very difficult. And USF is a private university, so the tuition was exorbitant. Yes. So I had to really work a lot on top of really his help. So I started doing teacher assistant at the university. I taught 3 classes and worked on the side, taught students.
Make some money.
Make extra money, yes. And then I was working in a deli downtown as well.
Oh, wow.
From 6 to 2 on a daily basis. So it was very exhausting in the beginning. But I was fortunate enough to meet my husband, John Archbold, who kept me awake to study all my classes, he was in the same shoes like me a little bit. He was like working very hard and working from 10 till 2, every night as well. So we really kind of became very good friends, and we studied very hard together and became very good team.
So he was an immigrant as well?
No, he is a local boy. He was born
okay.
in San Francisco. He's an American from an Irish background. So we became very good friends, and after 2 years, we became lovers, and we end up getting married, you know, and we have
That's
two
nice.
boys.
That's very nice.
Yes, Bernard, 24, he has just finished his first year in law school, and my younger boy, who is George, he's 18, just finished his first year in biomedical engineering at UCLA.
Oh, wow.
So
So you look like you're the person who came to this country and you got lots of help from others, and you've been
Yes.
supported by a few people. So
Yeah.
what are you giving back as paying back for the community?
Yeah, you know, when you've been there and realizing how important it is for someone to help you, it makes a huge difference, you know. There are few people that really stood by me in my life. One of them is my uncle, who I really love and respect so much. His name is Eli. He stood by me in good times and in bad times, you know, and you really get a cultural shock when you come from that environment to the United States, and you feel the loneliness, you know. So working very hard as well without a lot of support is very challenging. But I was very determined, and living back home in the condition, in the war, during the war, you know, toughens us up, you know. So I was determined to finish my degree, so I worked very hard and I finished it, you know. This is why, because I lived through miserable times, I feel like it's critical for a person to give back to the community and help other people, because you can change and make a great future of their lives, you know.
Good.
That's why I'm passionate about
Yeah,
helping
and
others and creating a healthy, contributing to a healthy community.
community, that's good. And now you are an ambassador at the United Nations, I understand. Is that true?
Yes, actually, I visit my country on an annual basis every year, because my parents are still there and they're getting to be old, you know, so I support them. And when you go there, you see how the country is evolving. So during this war, the constant, perpetual war that's taking place in our country, I noticed that there is a phenomena that is really scary and very dangerous due to the lack of the economic opportunities
Situations.
for people to work. The men, because they are mainly the main providers in that chauvinistic society, they're getting very frustrated and they're getting angry and upset.
And not too much stability there.
No stability, no jobs. It's like you are boxed in. So the level of violence is increasing tremendously. And unfortunately, they are taking that violence and trying to release their frustration by you know, killing and abusing their wives and their children. And there is so many killing lately of women in my country by their husbands or their dads or their brothers, but mainly by their partners. And I saw a lot of TV, you know, and I saw so many mothers that lost their children and dads that lost their wives, their daughters, excuse me, how much they're suffering. And there is no support in our country by law to protect a woman, a battered woman, from her partner. You know, there are no shelters for battered women. There's no programs that help men cope with this kind of things, like anger management programs and stuff like that. So, and the price that is being paid heavily by women and by children. So this is what drove me to write.
So you're saying it's increasing right now?
It's increasing.
The violence against women
it's
and girls.
alarming at an alarming rate. You
But
know,
what we see on TV, it's totally different. Like when we watch the Lebanese channels, I mean, we see the modern life and we see all this up-to-date living style for women, and they have their rights, and you know, they're on fashion, and they all look really good. You can't tell that this kind of country can go through that much violence.
you know, you'd be surprised. There is no doubt that Lebanese women are very accomplished and they are really beautiful women. They're known worldwide for their beauty, and they are very brainy too. But those who are getting married at younger ages, who are getting married of a different religion or from a different social status, you know, those who are less fortunate, where they don't have enough money to survive and to carry on a decent life, where there is a lot of poverty. It is across all religion and across all social status, where men take really advantage of women, you know, and they abuse them, and many times they ended up being killed, you know. So that is the reason that drove me to write my thesis about how to protect women and how to abolish domestic abuse altogether and protect children's rights in Lebanon. I took the initiative myself and wrote that and submitted it to the United Nations. I was just a member at the World Lebanese Cultural Union's San Francisco chapter. And when I know that they have representation in the United Nations, so I read a little bit about it on my own and made the thesis and sent it to the proper people at the UN. And I was shocked how easily they accepted it and embraced it, and like they thanked us that we are trying to achieve something great, you know, and they asked us definitely to change certain things to adhere to their format, but they are really minor details.
And so you were the first woman who presented that to United Nations?
Yes, and my main objective was, since the Lebanese law does not protect the woman from her husband when he's the abuser, you know, they consider it as an internal affair between a man and a woman, so they don't protect her. I wanted to make a change in the Lebanese law. Nowadays, if a person kills their wife, all they have to do is to accuse her of adultery to get home free, you know. Many of them kill their wives and they are out in a month or 2 months. Some get released because they have a lot of political power, or some religious people that are behind them, you know. So they had no one really to put them in their places and punish them for that, to prevent others from doing the same thing, you know. So I want to help the Lebanese government enact actually laws to protect the Lebanese women and daughters and sisters. And if they really don't hold these men responsible, I want the United Nations to help me go to the Interpol, where the international police, since this is a crime and we can consider it as an international crime, can go and follow these people and really take them to justice, you know, and bring justice to the families of these lost.
Yes, unfortunately, this is going on all over the world, basically, the violence against women, but none of the governments are doing anything about it. All these crimes are going on. United Nations must be the one to do something about this.
Yes, we need to stand for women and for the underprivileged. I am not trying to say that to be against men in that topic. On the contrary, I want to ask educated men in our country and all over to realize that protecting a woman is protecting a society and protecting the family.
Right.
You know, you cannot just oppress them and expect to have a healthy family and healthy children, you know.
Yeah.
So educated men and principled men and civilized men should be in the forefront of what I'm requesting from the Lebanese government, you know.
Right, and
so I'm appealing to them as well.
Yeah, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I think you're working very hard and it's going to pay off.
I'm not going to stop, you know. I am very, very driven and very passionate about this subject, and I'm going to work with every capability, with all my capability, to try to achieve some justice in that area.
That's good. So what are some of the volunteer works you do around here?
I do a lot of volunteer work. Before, I was like a professional for about 20 years, and I didn't have the time to do that. Once I became a little bit more relaxed and comfortable, I took off to raise my children. And raising my children put me in this environment of helping and volunteering. I volunteered in schools. I volunteered in the Boy Scout. Both of my boys are Eagle Scouts, both of them.
Wow.
In Boy Scouts of America and Troop 206 in Atherton.
Awesome.
And this is the highest honor you can achieve in Boy Scout. I was, for about 6 years, the chairperson of fundraising for the troop, you know, to collect money and raise money to keep the troop going, you know, so that they can take care of our children. So every person, based on what they like to do, help the troop, and the troop help your kids.
Right.
And
But you do believe that as a mother, being volunteer around the kids and present with them, that will help them to perform
makes a whole
their
world of
best.
difference. If you want to invest, I believe in investment in life. The best investment a mom can invest is in her children, because you are raising the new generation, the new leaders. Boy Scouts really put the leadership and the skills of the education skills and skills of survival in the wilderness. They prepare them to be interviewed. There are so many merit badges that they provide that can help the children decide and figure out who they are and what do they like to be. So it teaches them really leadership, and they provides them service to prepare them to provide service to their communities. I was very pleased with what the troop did to my children, and I thought every hour, every penny I put in that troop was worth it, you know, because they are
That's
really
great.
strong boys. This is on one aspect. On the other aspect, I was helping in the schools. It's so important to go and see what your kids are learning, and when the mom is around, the kids get inspired because they realize that education is an important thing of the family, you know. It's an important achievement. Your mom left her job to be there with you, and then you will realize what is hindering them from really getting ahead, and then you can help them. They both excel, you know. When I left my job and started being around, both of my kids became A students, you know, and they are very academically advanced, and they are healthy kids spiritually and academically, you know, all around. You're creating a human being. So I put a lot of work as well in schools and in water polo, because, you know, you have to protect the human, you have to protect their physical bodies and their brain and their education. So I put them both into water polo, and I was their cheerleader for
That's great.
for their teams, you know. So
That's
I cheer them
awesome.
all the way, you know.
You really kept yourself busy.
Yes.
Good. So, and also you are the president for the Lebanese American University,
yes.
and you're still the president?
Yes, and that aspect, because this is the university I graduated from in Beirut, I had to be giving back as well to alma mater, you know. So I created this chapter here from scratch, and I tried to coordinate with all the alumni and alumnae in this area, you know. We do like a lot of fundraising to the university as well, and we do activities together. So we network, we help each other find jobs, you know. We help each other feeling like it is a family, you know. Through education, you build up a lot of friends. So that as well connected me with a lot of people in my field that I helped, and they helped me back.
Yeah, and you're also the vice president for the Lebanese American Society.
Yes, yeah, American Association, yes. This is an organization that is local in this area, in the Bay Area, pretty much. Its mission is, it's a non-political, it's non-religious, it's non-profit organization, non-ethnical. It collects all the Lebanese and tries to do a lot of community events that helps the Lebanese new generation remember their homeland, and, you know, to keep the link, yes, so that they don't completely get lost in other cultures, so they can give back as well to their community here and to their homeland country. So we do like teach them a lot of Arabic classes. We give stories, you know. We give scholarship for Lebanese Americans that are less privileged, and we do an annual gala where we invite all the Lebanese, and we run movies about important Lebanese people, so they aspire to become like those people that are contributing to the second home that they have here.
Wow.
And they connect through dancing and through music. And
you are amazing.
Thank you.
And you've been recently appointed for the, what is it?
World Lebanese Cultural Union. I'm the
as a
chairperson for their social committee affairs worldwide.
What is that about?
Yeah, you know, World Lebanese Cultural Union as well is similar to the LAA, but its objective is all over the world. It's not only local.
Oh.
So it's about
all over the world, or
all over the world. Yes, all Lebanese all over the globe.
But you are the chairperson in United
No,
States.
I am for all over the globe.
Oh, you are.
So I'm responsible for
Oh,
this
very
area and
impressed.
for all over the world activities.
Oh
So,
my
this is
God.
much broader position. I'm still learning about it and trying to grow into it. But currently, for example, the next I just got appointed about a month ago. The activities we're trying to do is currently, like, one of the activities I'm trying to do is next Saturday I have a big fundraising event at my home in Redwood City. We are trying to raise money for all the orphanages in Lebanon, and especially for the Lebanese army who got killed by ISIS and Jabhat al-Nusra, because the main provider is gone and the mom is left with small children and no provider. So we provide the drinks and the food, and it's all Lebanese authentic food, homemade, and we ask people to contribute as much as they can,
Yeah.
And then I have an event in Lebanon that's going to take place in August 9th, and this is going to be, we're collecting, it's a demonstration, it's a huge group walking from my town to Harissa, which is about 28 kilometers, all in support of our Lebanese army. And we're asking people to give as many as they can, even $1. We're expecting around 15,000 people to be walking in this
Are you gonna go
demonstration.
there
Oh,
for
of
that
course. I'm
event?
organizing it from here, actually, with a lot of people worldwide. I'm convincing everybody to go down and support Lebanon, support the Lebanese army, And because without an army, we cannot have a country.
Definitely.
A country without an army is like a person without an identity.
Exactly.
This is the last hold that is keeping our country together.
And I want to ask you about the festival, the immigrant festival that earned Lebanon to Guinness World Record.
Oh, perfect, yes.
What is that?
Yes, every year I go to Lebanon. I try to help in doing something really that puts Lebanon in the map and get the people to really work together through their issues. We were trying to raise awareness of drugs and tobacco and reckless driving, because in Lebanon we're losing a lot of youth and people to reckless driving, unfortunately. So as a result of doing that, we put a huge festival in Shwar, which is the town I am from. And in that festival, we provided the longest shish kebab in the world. It was 100 meter, 97.8.
Wow.
The longest shish kebab that has ever been done in the world. Imagine how much engineering there's going to be to carry all those meat from one side to the other. And on top of that, we as well, to show people, to teach them through dancing as well, because music and dance makes your soul, improves your soul and self. We are teaching them the debki, so we created the longest debki line in the world. Lebanese debki is the Lebanese folklore dance. So we collected around 5,042 people in that Lebanese debki, and these are world-breaking records that put Lebanon in one day to Guinness World Record events.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I was not the main organizer, but I was an effective coordinator and a contributor to these two events.
This is good. This is excellent.
Thank you.
And tell me one more thing about you joined, or you participated, or you established and helped out in joining where they pick Miss Lebanon in the United States?
Miss Immigrant.
Miss Immigrant?
Yes,
Okay,
in Shwar, the town I am in, every year it is a habit, it is habituary that they really host immigrants' festivities for 2 weeks. One of the festivities that they do is to elect Miss Lebanese Immigrant.
Wow.
And this happens like every state here do election, their own election, and they elect the Miss Immigrant for that state. And then for every country does that. And then from all states, they elect Miss USA, Miss Immigrant USA, and for every country all over the world. And all these misses or misses, the beauty pageant, go to a beauty pageant in Shwar, and they compete to become to take the queen, Miss Lebanese immigrant.
But she must be a Lebanese
From,
girl.
from a Lebanese origin. Her mom, her dad, her grandpa, she has to be from a Lebanese origin, yes.
Okay.
And this as well is very good event because Lebanese girls and ladies are very well known to be so beautiful and so elegant, with all my due respect to other people as well and other
they
nationalities.
love fashion.
And they love
to dress
fashion.
up.
Lebanon used to be called the Paris of the Middle East, and still, you know.
Yes, yes.
You go there and you can't really stop enjoying the beauty all
I agree
around
with
you.
you.
They have a very sophisticated culture, and it is really very rich, elegant, and you know, perfectionist almost. So it's beautiful as well because those young ladies learn how to be not only beautiful from outside as well, but brainy as well. Because
Intelligent.
Miss Immigrant is not only all about external
Looks.
beauty, but it's about a wholesome girl,
So she
a
has to be
wholesome
beautiful
lady.
from inside
And knowledgeable
outside.
too, you know, all beauty is power, knowledge is power, presentation is power, her aspiration and philosophy is power. So yes, I do that as well.
Okay, good. I see how
Yeah.
busy you are, and I
Yeah.
also know that you're so busy, but you still make time to join the book reading club.
Oh, actually, you
Tell me
remind me of
about
the
that.
book club. Yes, that's true. Here as well, I am a member in a book club. And I like to read, you know, but because of the busy life that we currently lead, I have to be in a club that helped me really to read. So we, the Lebanese and the Arab ladies all over the San Jose area, we have a very interesting book club, and we read about a book every month and a half. And we go to each other's places, you know, and after we read the book, we discuss it, we argue about it, we try to see what's good and what's bad, we study the characters. And then after that, we join in eating a little bit of some Lebanese food, you know,
That's
after
nice.
that.
That is
So
nice.
that keeps our minds sharp and keep us abreast on what is happening in our country and here. We read very interesting books, not only Lebanese, Arabic books, you know. We read like very philosophical books like The Prince by Machiavelli.
Wow.
We read Animal Farm by George Orwell. Very interesting book, Rise and Fall of Big Powers, you know. So
That's
it's,
great.
yeah.
That is
it's very
great. We
interesting.
have 30 seconds. What message you like to give out?
You know what if there is any message that I want to teach is for all the moms to take on their responsibility of treating their children equally, if they are boys or they're girls, because to prevent domestic abuse by men to women it starts from younger age, when you teach that the boy is equally to the girl and not your daughter is a servant to her brother. So for mom, treat your boys and your girls equally. Teach them both the same thing. Teach them both to be independent and teach them to respect and have tolerance for each other. Teach them peace and teach them justice as well, because without a justice there is no peace.
And I
That
agree
is
with you
really-
all the way, and you got my
Yes.
full support.
Oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate taking the time to host me.
Thank you for
Saad.
being here, and
Thank
good
you.
luck to you
Thank
in
you
all
so
your
much.
events.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.